Hello. My name is Lindsay. I just renamed my channel to the Stitchin' Mama. My business name is Unique Baby Boutique, so I was trying to separate it. So I keep trying to say, this is Lindsay with Unique Baby Boutique, but it's not. I am the Stitchin' Mama. So we are going to be doing a video today on Sew What Pro. We are going to go over some of the basic functions of the design, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite features. So let's just jump right in. So the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously open Sew What Pro. That is step number 1. Why is this not opening? Oh, there it goes. So up here are going to be some of your shortcuts. You can also find all of these functions up here, but the little shortcut icon is super clutch in so many different occasions. So we are going to merge on here. I'm going to show you how to adjust density. I'm going to show you how to resize an image. I'm also going to show you some tips and tricks of things that I like. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know, comment below, and I will try to answer them all. So we are going to do File, Open, and hold on, let me go back. Do you guys see how merge is grayed out? That's because there's nothing to merge it to. You're starting with a blank hoop. So let's go ahead and do File, Open. So I actually saved the designs that we're going to be working with on my desktop just for convenience sake, because I have all my designs on my external hard drive, and it's just a lot easier to put them in one place to look for them. So you will find wherever your designs are stored, and the first thing you're going to want to do is think about, okay, so you have your foreground of your design. So what design do you want to be in the back? I think that's foreground, now that I'm saying it out loud. Whatever. The design you want to be on the back. You have to figure out which one you want to be in the front and which one you want to be on the back. Or if you want your designs to be side by side, or how you want that. I always kind of come up with a design in my head, and then, or I test it out on Sew What Pro and see how it looks. So I always like the number to be in the back. I think when you're doing a birthday shirt or whatever, I think having the number applique in the back always looks better. So today we're going to be making a fictitious shirt for little Timmy. Little Timmy loves anchors, and he is turning 7. So let's get going. So let's go back here. We are going to do File, Open. We are going to go to Desktop, because that's where my design is saved. And then Comic College is some of the appliques some of the number appliques that I use. I think I bought this in a the 50 font pack that they have on Etsy. I think it was like $10. And honestly, I like the numbers. They're chunky. I just think they look nice. So you obviously have your different sizes here. When I'm doing a 5x7 shirt, I normally stick with the 7 inches, and you can see, a design of, you can see the what the design looks like a preview over here. And then down here, you have how many colors it is, which is the stop steps, and then how many stitches it has, and then also the size of the design. So this one has 3,768 stitches, 3 steps or color stops, and the size is 3.9 by 5.12. So let's go ahead and open this. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set your hoop size. So I normally work with an 8x8 hoop, because I have a brother machines. So you have to figure out what you're embroidering on, what hoop you want to use. So I am going to change my hoop size right up here, and you can choose your machine type over here. Baby Lock and Brother are the same machine. They're just packaged different, I guess is what it is. So they always say that Baby Lock is the higher end, I guess. I don't know. I like my brother, so I don't really know. So once you get to know your machine, you will know what all of these hoops are. My 5x7 is what we have on right now, but I'm gonna get my 8x8 hoop, and the number over here is actually the number of the part number. So you know, if you're playing around or whatever and you know that you want to buy this hoop from Brother, you're going to need to just look up that part number. Most things you can't buy online, you do have to buy from a Brother dealer, but yeah. So I'm going to use my 8x8 hoop. We're going to open that. So we are going to zoom out because I like to see what my entire hoop looks like. So this design it's okay. Like it's, you know, the thickness level isn't what I would like it. I would like it a little bit thicker. So I am going to add my other design, and then I'm going to work on manipulation and editing what I have on here. So instead of doing file open, here, I'll just show you. If I do file open, watch what's going to happen. Desktop, we'll pick the anchor. Oh, it opened a whole new tab. Why did it do that? It did that because we did not merge the design. We want to merge them so we're on the same project and they are going to save as the same file. So we're going to go up here and we're going to exit out of here. We're going to do file, merge. You can do Control M obviously, but you're not going to remember the keyboard shortcuts until you actually know the machine a little bit more. So I'm going to add my anchor. So if I go over here and I move it over to the right, you can see that it's like totally not, centered. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the density level. So there's two different types of density. You have pull compensation and you have, I can't think of the other word right now. Okay, so you have pull amount, which is the pull compensation, which is the one that goes this way. So like this is considered your pull compensation. So like say like you're pulling an item, right? So like it's going horizontal. And then your density adjustment is how close your stitches are together. So pull is long, density is how tight they are. So I always just jack this up. Like I think the wider the satin stitch is, I personally think it looks nicer. But first what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to resize this image. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to this resize tab. You can always pull at the corners, but just remember if you pull here or if you pull from this side, it's going to make it wide. See? That's a terrible 7. I always do edit undo because I'm not really sure how it's going to look. But you can pull from the side, but I'm still a little leery of that, only because of oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I want to make sure that is uniform. So to change a design and resize it, you're going to click on the actual design, and then you're going to come up here to the resize tool. So think of 100 at being the constant. So 100 is going to be, if you want something to go above the size, you're going to do like 125. If you want it to go below, you're going to do 85, if that makes sense. So if you're making it smaller, you're going to make the number smaller. If you're making it larger, you're going to make the number larger. So I always just start with 125 and see how it looks. So I'm good with that, only because I know that I'm going to have space down here to put my name, because I'm also going to put little Timmy's name. So, oh my goodness, excuse me. So I resized the image. Now, I think I'm gonna actually. So I'm just manipulating the design right now to see how I like this setup. But I am going to center the design in the hoop. Actually, it looks quite centered. This side needs to come over here a little bit to the left, but. So in order to do that, you can either do, what is it, select all. Okay, so you can either do edit, select all, or you can do the method that I like. I like starting in either the right or left-hand corner, it doesn't matter. And then you're just gonna start and then just go up. And you can honestly just go up this far and it'll select everything. and it will select everything because you end up grabbing, even if you grab a little bit of the other design, it'll still grab it. Like, so like if I go this way, okay, it's only going to select the anchor. Or if I go this way, it's only going to select the 7. But if I go like this, ew, we got everybody selected. So we're going to select this, and we're going to come all the way up to the top of our hoop. And as you can see, the crosshairs, so the X and Y axis are going to be where you know things are centered. So these 2 dots I never pay attention to, only because if you want it directly in the center of your hoop, okay, you can do that. But if you're not looking to do that, and you know where you want it centered, and where you want the design to be on the shirt or the bag or whatever, if you're adding another design, oh my goodness, if you're adding another design down here, like the name, which we will be doing, I'm going to scoot this all the way up. And then I'm actually going to move this up just a skosh. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to make sure that's centered. Okay, it's still centered. And then now I know that we have enough room down here for the name. So the only thing is I don't know with the new resize if we're going to have enough for the name, but we are going to try it. So now I'm going to adjust the density on my 7. So I always just crank this up. So did you guys see how that changed? Here, edit, undo. Okay, you see how that looks? Ooh! Edit, undo. Edit, redo. There it is. There it is, folks. All right, so now we're going to click our anchor. We are going to come over here. Now it automatically goes to the last default adjustment that you made. So you can restore it to defaults, which will change everything back to 0. But generally, you know, oh, it tells you exactly right here. Lengthen or shorten the stitch rows. So we're going to do this one the same. And the reason why you can see red under here is because red was the underlay stitch. So you can change that to any color, it doesn't matter. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a name. So in order to do that, I'm going to do File. What was that? Merge. That's right, File, Merge. So I'm going to come over here to, oh, Big Sis. Okay, I was looking for my font folder. So Big Sis is one of my favorite fonts. I just think it looks great. So we're going to start with upper T, because Timmy's name starts with a T. So we're going to open that. Oh, we got plenty of room. So now we're going to come over here and we're going to start the name around where we want to start it. So you could either do one of 2 things. You can do File, Merge, and do the whole name. Who wants to do that? Or you can come over here to this little icon button, and you will be able to see. So if you don't click alphabet mode, it'll just show you everything that we selected. But we are going to do alphabet mode. And then we're going to come over here to delete album folders, because I don't need this folder. I already worked with this design. If you know that you're going to do something else with this same design, you can keep it. But I'm not going to keep it because I know that I am done working with it for this project. So I'm going to do delete album folders. I'll go back to that. So delete album folders. Then we're going to come over here and we are going to delete comic collage or college, whatever it is. So we are going to do little Timmy's name. So we're going to do I-M-M-Y. So the next thing, what I would do is I would zoom in close and I would rearrange these letters. Like that Y looks ridiculous. So remember, you're going to select all. And I would I like the way that that looks. So now we're going to make Timmy's name just a wee bit bigger. Okay, now we're going to adjust the density. Oops. Now we're going to adjust the density. So we are going to go over here. Okay. Do you guys see how different that looks? Like, let's just go back. Like, that honestly just looks a world of different to me. So as you can see, the eye is going to be a little bit on the 7. So let's zoom back out. And we are just going to make this just a teensy tiny bit bigger. I mean smaller. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So we're going to move it up. We're going to move it up. We're going to select, make sure it's centered. Then we're going to come over here, make sure that's centered. Okay, everything is centered. So now to get back to your steps, you are going to press this icon button one more time. Boop. So over here is going to be your color stops or your steps. I know we talked about that in the beginning when we were pulling designs out, but these are going to be your placement stitch, tack down stitch, applique, placement stitch, tack down stitch, and then this one actually has a underlay stitch, then satin stitch. And then over here is going to be your name, which is all satin stitch. So you can save this as this is and go embroider your heart away, or you can manipulate the design a little bit more. I like to manipulate it a little bit more because if you don't join this 8 through 12 right here, guess what? You're going to be pressing that go button 5 times. Instead, if we merge it or join it, then all you have to do is do the next color stop once. Or honestly, you can merge it with another step and you will have to do less steps. So to those of you that are new, embroidering less steps is more convenient for everyone, especially if it's a project you have to babysit. Because by babysitting, I mean not leaving your machine. Like most t-shirts, depending on the machine, you cannot leave. Because if your machine eats it, and by eat it, I mean the foot get wrapped around the arm, or you get a bird's nest, or gosh, there's honestly so many bad things that can happen. And I feel like it only happens when you walk away from your machine. Like when you're like watching it and you're like, yeah, nothing happens. Not one thing. So, that's what I would do if I were you. So, let's go over here and we are going to start with changing the color. So I think Little Timmy's shirt is probably going to be, let's do gray. So we'll do Little Timmy's shirts gray. Since this is a maritime shirt, we'll do shades of blue and we'll do the name black. No. We'll do the name white. That will be pretty. So we're going to go over here. So we're going to change that to that color. We're going to change this. Oh, I actually love the way that looks. Okay, so we're going to do gray shirt, blue, green, and then we're going to change this, what did I say, to white. So let's go ahead and change the shirt color. So if you come over here to this little button right here. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good. So this kind of gives you just a very rough like preview of what it's gonna look like. Obviously your gray might be a different tone of gray, or your blue or green thread that you're using might be a different shade. And while we're on that subject, if you come over here, you can change the type of thread that you're using. So, y'all, there is... just a ridiculous amount. So I personally use Floriani for a lot of my thread, or Isacord, but we're just going to stick with what we have because it's already on here. And then we're going to come over here and change Little Timmy, what did we say, white? White. White. Right. Oops. Okay. So here's little Timmy's shirt. So now for my favorite trick. You can either do one of two things. You can go up here to the menu bar, or you can do Control J. So I like Control J because it's probably one of the most shortcuts that I use the most. I would say the icon button and Control J, especially when I'm color sorting felties. This is clutch. So we are going to do join same color of thread starting at 8. Now watch what happens. Are you ready? Ooh! So we went from having 12 steps or 12 color stops to having only 8. So if you guys really want to be fancy, you know, you can press play here and it'll show you how it's going to stitch out. That's going to be your placement stitch. Ain't nobody have time for that, okay? Maybe it'll be fun to watch, I don't know, but it's just, it's not for me. So now when you join something, everything is going to be connected, so watch. So before, you know, you could move things individually, but now that you have joined the design, you cannot do that anymore. So let me just show you this button. So this button over here is going to be bringing your pattern to the center of the hoop. Obviously, you can see that by scrolling over these buttons. You can see what they all do. So again, now it's centered in your hoop, but we didn't want to do that in the beginning because we weren't really sure how it was going to work. So next thing you're going to want to do is just go over your design. Just make sure you like the way it looks, because once you save it, well, once you merged it, you can't really edit things. You would have to do edit, undo, and then it would delete. It would unmerge Timmy. But I like the way that this looks. So we're going to go over here and we're going to do File, Save As. So I'm just going to save it to my desktop only because I don't have a flash drive plugged in, and I just want to make sure that I save it in the right place. So over here is going to be all of your formats. So you guys, you can save the PNG, you can save the GIF, you can save the JPEG, you can do whatever. Brother only uses PES or DXT. DXT is like a universal embroidery file format, but the colors are all messed up because it's for, most of the time it's for, commercial machines. So PES, okay, I'm going to save that. And there we go. We just worked in Sew What Pro. I am going to come back and do another video here in just a minute, but I thank you guys for following along. If you like, subscribe, leave a comment. If I did not go over something that you want to know, please let me know and I will do that. Thank you. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon on the next video, very shortly.